Hi there. Welcome to my channel. Glad to see you here. And if it's the second time you've been here, thanks for coming back. I always talk about damaged hair because we need to talk about it. We need good understanding of what our hair is going through. We also need solutions to help stabilize our damage. So this channel is meant to help you understand damaged hair and how you can approach conditioning and deep conditioning, because I think that's one of the things that gets forgotten is the deep conditioning. So let's dive into some deep conditioning and dive into understanding damaged hair, and then we can give damaged hair a voice. People are at home with chronic damaged hair, so they need help, and they need to stop being upset about their hair. Chronic damaged hair is so severe now that many women are wearing just to make their hair. They're wearing pieces, hair pieces, just so that they can make their hair have more volume. But how can we get more volume, and how can we get more out of our conditioning to help produce the results we want? So let's dive in. I want to dive in today about shampooing. I noticed that I always talk about my emails, and I noticed that my emails are coming through still asking about shampooing. I try to stick to the subjects you want to hear or the subjects you need. And so I think shampooing is always a good one to go over because we just don't do shampooing right. First of all, I think the first thing we do with shampooing, or I see my clients when I had a salon, my clients would always over shampoo. So you don't want to over shampoo because then you're going to scrape away your acid mantle. Your scalp does have natural oils. It's called an acid mantle, and it's all over your skin. Of course, on your scalp though, it serves a different purpose. It regulates how often your hair takes in moisture. That's what that oil does. So it has a purpose, and we're supposed to brush and drag those oils from the scalp throughout the hair shaft to keep it healthy. So when you comb your hair, you brush your hair. One of the effective things that you're doing is getting that oil away from the scalp and then putting it throughout the hair, which is where it should be. Shampooing too much interrupts that process. Putting on hair oils that don't wash or not water soluble hurts that acid mantle. So a lot of times what I see is that I have to tell clients, please stop shampooing. Shampoo every 14 days just because you've been shampooing every other day. So you got to stop the shampooing altogether once every 14 days to start off with. This gives your scalp time to regain its natural oils. You can rinse all you want, and you can rinse till you're squeaky clean. Don't use very hot water. Warm, I guess warm to hot is okay, but not hot water. You want to just use a nice warm hot water and rinse your hair that way. And just by running your fingers through it, you should be able to get a lot of the debris out. It's not that much being collected. So you need to stop shampooing so much. First time, let's say you're shampooing every other day or you're shampooing once a week, then I want to see you say, okay, I'm not going to shampoo, but every 14 days. So every 14 days, you shampoo. When you shampoo twice within that one session of shampooing. So the first time you shampoo, it pulls all the debris and dirt out of your hair. The second time you shampoo, it cleanses more. So for instance, your shampoo, if you have a chemical service, should be moisture. That's very important. If you have no chemicals and you feel like your hair is limp, then you can go with a protein shampoo, which is a rebuilder, protein rebuilder. So that kind of gives you an idea of how to choose your shampoo, but getting back to not shampooing. So you don't want to shampoo, but once every 14 days. You do that for about a month or two. Then your natural oils should be back by that time. So now you're not going to disturb them. You're going to wash them every 7 days. I say 7 to 10 days. Okay, you wash your hair, and of course you're going to wash twice in that one session. And then, of course, this will let your natural oils be okay. It'll keep your scalp clean. Now, the where that gets into a problem is when people swim. Okay, when you swim, we have an issue because you're going to definitely want to wash the dirt and the chlorine out of your hair. Um, that's understandable. So you're not going to scrub your scalp. To wash the chlorine out of your hair, you do not have to rub or scrub hard. All you need to do is put the solution throughout your hair or the shampoo throughout your hair and manipulate softly. And then, of course, rinse and do it again. So you have to sort of think to yourself, well, if I'm going swimming, then I'm not going to shampoo until I swim. So let's say you're swimming 3 times a week. Well, you can't shampoo your hair 3 times a week. So what you want to do is you want to rinse and then just, if you have to, I'd say run the shampoo through lightly. Do not rub and scrub. Just run it through your hair and, don't strip your scalp so much. A lot of times we just rub, and that just strips the scalp more and more. And you don't need that because the chlorine is not going to attach to the scalp as heavily as it attached to the hair. So I like to see you shampoo. For instance, like I said, if you're going 3 times a week, then you only have one shampoo. The other 2 times you need to rinse. And then, of course, if you really feel as if it's needed, I would say go ahead and rinse the shampoo through your hair. So when you're rinsing the shampoo through your hair, you just wipe it and then rinse it. It's no manipulation and scrubbing and stripping. And that way you might feel a little bit better because you've already done your shampoo that week. So you don't want to do 2 more times. Okay, now how much shampooing do you need to get the chlorine out? Well, that's very easy. So you don't have to worry about, scrubbing. You just need to, rinse your hair. This way, the times you shampoo won't take away from your acid mantle, won't take away from the natural oils on your scalp because they're very well needed to lubricate the hair so that it can move, to give the hair fullness, to give the hair a sheen. You need your acid mantle. So you cannot wash that natural acid mantle away. And sometimes when we have home remedies, such as honey and so forth, that can definitely hurt the acid mantle. So you don't want to just apply oil and things in your hair that may not be able to be washed out. Another thing, when you start shampooing, you think, well, where is kids with that? Well, kids have hair, and the hair is the same as yours in a sense. It's not going to act too much different, other than it's probably healthier than yours. But not trying to insult. Um, so the kid's hair, yes, here again, same thing goes for the kid. You don't want to wash it too often. We tend to wash our hair like our kids' hair like our hair, and that's not wrong. I mean, that's wrong. So what we want to do is shampoo. You're going to stop shampooing so much. Stop shampooing the kids' hair so much. And of course, if you feel as if they've just been in extra sand or so forth, then you can run the shampoo through without rubbing and scrubbing, and that way you get a feel of a better clean. Um, Here again, though, we want to see not so much shampooing. It destroys the acid mantle. It interrupts the moisture environment that the hair carries. And you don't want to break down those elements because that's what keeps you in hair wellness. So kids' hair are the same thing. Do not over shampoo it. If the kid has a chemical, wow, you really don't want to be over shampooing. So usually the kids have braids. And let's talk about that. Braids and shampooing, not a good thing. The shampoo and so forth still gets caught up in the fake hair as well as the natural hair, and it just creates a barrier where your hair cannot absorb moisture from the air or the atmosphere. So braids and shampooing, I, I think that's really hard because when you start shampooing and the braids don't really rinse well, you still have shampoo residue that you can't get away from the scalp from just rinsing. So we need to not try to down braids, but scientifically, shampooing is not the healthiest thing you can do with braids. Because of the way they are and the way you can't manipulate the scalp or massage it that much without disturbing the hairstyle of the braids. So we want to say that shampooing braids is kind of hard. And I don't have any tips as far as what makes it better other than trying to get the water out. You would just try to get a paper towel or a dry towel, a cotton towel. And if you just hold it and just press it, it should absorb a lot of the water out of there. But shampooing is not the healthiest thing to do when you have braids. And the reason for that is because the braids do get disturbed and they do, have a problem with destroying or messing up the hairstyle. So I would like to see you not have braids, but if you do, remember to rinse, rinse, rinse. Try to get as much of that, shampoo and so forth away from the scalp and hair. After chemical service, we shampoo too often. So if you're getting a tint, I don't want to see you shampooing, 14 days, 2 weeks, because you need time. That chemical strips the scalp of its natural oil. So if you shampoo behind it, the scalp never has time to regain its natural oil. So the hair doesn't perform as well as it could, doesn't style as pretty as it could. So what we want to do is think about that chemical service. Do not shampoo, just rinse for 14 days. So after you have a chemical service, you're not going to shampoo for 14 days. In between that, you will rinse. Okay, give your hair time to recuperate. Give your hair time, of your scalp time to recuperate with nutrition as well as your hair. So after a chemical service, it's very important that you don't shampoo too often. And then also too, if you're having a chemical service, a moisturizing shampoo is more smart than doing a protein shampoo. Remember, protein is when the hair is limp and dull and no body. And then, of course, if it's dehydrated, then, of course, or too much dehydrated, then it's limp and it's just won't hold a style. It won't hold a curl. It's not breaking, but it just seems to be off in styling because of the dehydration. So we want to notice that, and we want to take care of it as soon as possible. So you don't want to shampoo too quickly behind a perm or a chemical service, I should say, and you want to rinse accordingly. If the hair seems to be limp or dry, then of course limp, it needs protein, dry, it needs moisture. Shampoo. And remember not to shampoo too fast. A lot of time people just zip through their shampoo. I think the hair companies are happy when you use the shampoo more often. I think they've even led us into that through marketing. We've kind of learned shampoo, shampoo. However, if you didn't use your shampoo that often, they wouldn't make as many sales. So I think they go ahead and let you believe that you have to shampoo more often. But I can't. People didn't used to shampoo. In the past, people didn't shampoo their hair that often. So I think it just started when all the product just got pretty and you just thought, oh, well, I take a bath, clean my hair. It seems so innocent. And then actually, though, it can really cause a lot of hair problems down the line. So remember, do not shampoo too much after chemical service. Knowing what shampoo and what type, I just mentioned that, um, you know that if the hair is limp and doesn't hold a curl and um, is dull, then you want a protein shampoo. If the hair is dry and brittle, then of course you need a moisturizing shampoo. So with that idea, you kind of have a better idea on how to choose. Sometimes your hair will give you symptoms and you think, what is it doing now? What is it doing? I don't know what it's doing. I don't know what to give it. So just think about the symptoms that your hair, or the red flags, I like to call them, that really give you conclusions or give you um, a more uh, information so you can make a better decision. Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. So you do want to understand the type of shampoo you need. And then, of course, try not to use too much. Shampoo, well, with my investigation, shampoo is very concentrated, and we often use too much. So remember to rinse the hair. And, of course, I can send you shampooing instructions, and you can learn how to shampoo in a healthy manner or a hair wellness manner. I don't like to use word healthy because I think the industry has just burnt the word for its meaning. Healthy, healthy. What is healthy? Because my hair is doing what I want it to? That makes it healthy? Okay, so we need to judge healthiness by moisture, growth rate, and of course sheen, uh, you know, of course the no breakage, right? So that would be signs of a healthy hair. So shampoo plays a big part in how healthy that hair is. Um, Let me see here. It is important, and it's a part of your hair wellness to know it. I think that's something that should be said. Knowing how to shampoo is half the battle. A lot of times we mess up so much just because we shampoo wrong. So getting that right is very important to getting your hair wellness right. If your shampoo is drying you out, your medication is drying you out, and then your body is dehydrated, um, okay, you're gonna have a very severe dehydration problem with your hair. So you have to clear up the dehydration in your body, clear it up in your hair, and then of course continue to have some. I think it's called essential oils. They help you not be so dehydrated. Electrolytes help you not to be dehydrated. So look into those things. Keep your moisture in your body, keep it in your hair, and definitely remember, don't shampoo too often. It gets you into a lot of trouble. Conditioning and shampooing. A lot of times when we condition, we think that we have to shampoo. We think, oh, I've got a deep condition, or I got a shampoo, or I want to put conditioner in my hair. I need to shampoo. That's not true. What you want to do is, here again, stick to rinsing, and then you can still condition. So let's say you washed your hair at the pool. Now it's time for your heat cap, but it's too soon to do a shampoo. You can rinse your hair and then do the heat cap. You don't have to shampoo prior to a heat cap unless you need to shampoo. So I just want you to know that that flexibility and maybe writing it on your calendar helps keep you with a routine that you're aware of. So you say, all right, I shampooed on, the 15th of the month. All right, so that means you don't have to shampoo again to the end of the month, right? All right, no more or no less than 7 days. So I like to see 7 to 10 days apart from shampooing. But yeah, definitely not every week. Okay, guys? So get your shampooing right. Understand your shampooing so that you can have hair wellness without all the um, understanding that, I guess, without all the trouble. And understanding that shampooing can cause dryness. So if you have 4 or 5 things drying you out, of course, you'll just be in a repetitious cycle trying to solve your dryness problem. So eliminate your shampoo from being too dry. I want to thank you for coming. I would like you to push the like button. I really appreciate you for keeping this channel going for 3 years. I hope that I am helping you understand the industry, understand hair products, and understand how you and your lifestyle plays an important part in your hair wellness. Getting a routine, changing your bad hair habits. This is where we need to go because chronic damaged hair is right around the corner. It's not that hard to understand how to take care of it, but it is hard to change your habits that you've had so many years with. It's almost like someone telling you to put your socks on different. You think, I've been putting my socks on this way. I tie my shoes this way. Well, no, you've got to learn how to retie your shoes, so to speak. And so with that understanding, you know that it takes time to change your habits. But You will be so rewarded and so proud to stop damaging your hair and causing a lot of the frustration that you have with your hair. So let's get it together and let's get to a routine that saves our hair. I thank you again. Please leave a comment and please keep sending your email questions or your hair questions to email ditahair911 at gmail.com. I have a Facebook, Dita Damaged Hair. That's fun there. I talk about different stuff. We still give you answers to damaged hair. I want to thank you again for coming. I hope you have a good week. And I hope you come back again to learn more about how to have hair wellness. Now, you go have a good hair day. And remember, brush, shampoo not too often, and learn to look at the red flags in your hair so that you can properly analyze your hair. Do not live with damaged hair too long. Thank you. Go have a good hair day. I'm not going to say any more, I promise.